and I'm a honky-tonk man, and I can't seem to stop.
So, what I'm going to do here, let me show you this. I have this beautiful piece of hard maple, and it actually came from about a 10-foot 5/4 piece that I've cut down and milled out a little bit. It's going to be for a threshold in my old house. I've got a 101-year-old house, so if anybody has experience with those, they need a lot of care and feeding. So anyhow, I had to put new tile in there to correct the floor, and because old houses have very cattywampus everything, we had to raise the floor up a lot to get it to a level, and that creates a big delta between the hallway, which is maple flooring, and the tile raises about 3/4 of an inch. So what I did here, you can kind of see, is I've got a rabbet in here that is going to cover the gap, the height gap, and then what I'm going to do, you can see this line, is I'm going to take and do this on the bandsaw. I'm going to cut this bevel out because it's such a high jump. We don't want people walking into the bathroom in the middle of the night and stubbing their toe on that thing, so this will be a fairly gentle ramp up. But so I milled out 3 sides just to start doing my cuts here and then figuring out exactly how I wanted this to look. Now that I know how I want it to look, I need to cut this, but I never finished this edge. You can see this is still a rough cut from the lumberyard. So I'm going to just do a joint edge on this so it's flat, and then from there I'm going to run it through to get this bevel. So what I'm going to do, you can probably kind of, once I get the camera set up, you'll see my machines. That big tube back there, which is right there, if I can see my camera, there you go, that tube, that's my dust collector, which is pretty freaking cool itself. In fact, when I turn it on, you cannot stand within a 10-foot radius of it or you get sucked up that tube. Naturally, you kind of stop at your head because you can't go up there, but it messes with your hairdo. So, anyhow, I'm going to readjust cameras here. Here we go! Alright, so that worked really nice. Just took 2 passes. It wasn't very rough cut. So now that we got that rough cut, we're going to move this out of the way, bring the bandsaw into play, and that's where we're going to cut this angle right here. So we're going to cut, that's a, you know, again, this is about 8 inches. So that's a lot of cutting. You can't do this on, you can do it on a table saw, but you got to have a pretty big blade on the table saw because you're talking cutting in 4 inches each side. And you got to have your angle cut, and you know, you come in from the other side with another angle, it's going to get all cattywampus, and you'll be sanding it or planing it. This with the bandsaw, technically, the bandsaw's got about a 13, almost a 14-inch resaw capacity. So it'll handle this real easy, and it should come out pretty smooth. We'll probably run it through this thickness planer, or actually we'll run it right through the jointer here, because it's going to be at an angle. The thickness planer needs 2 sides that are parallel, so it won't work that way, but it'll go through the jointer. Again, it's only 8 inches, we got 12 inches of jointing capacity, and give me a nice smooth finish, ready for sanding and install. So this should be fun. So I'm going to keep